No season clings to the one before it. Each fulfills its purpose and quietly gives way to the next. This is probably the most personal video I've ever done and perhaps ever will do. To anyone who is new to my channel, and I'm sure there will be quite a few um, people that are curious to see the latest transgender coming out video. Um, my name is Benton, and I am a shaman in the Japanese Shinto tradition. I wanted to put this off for some months and just do something where people would just notice the changes that I'm going through and under. But I wanted to be as honest with everyone as possible, and that includes myself. I also was planning on doing this video where I explain that the concept of a female deity or spirit in a male body in regards to shamanism worldwide is quite common, and you could see it in indigenous populations and traditions throughout the world and throughout history, and in Asia it was never any different. So many people have been that, including one of the most notable people in the last century in Shinto, or the last century and a half or so. But like I said, I'm not going to get into that right now because I wanted this video to come from the heart as much as possible. So it's not scripted, it's just me speaking. So throughout my life, I've always been sort of disconnected from my own body, and I've always wondered why. For many of you, you may not know this, or many of you perhaps do. I was a professional fighter for many, many years, and I did martial arts since I was young in the United States, Japan, and all over Asia. One could say I was actually quite obsessed, but something really strange happened, and I detail it a little bit in my book, The Shores of Eternity. Um, while I was competing, I would become completely disconnected from my body, and um, sometimes it got to the point where I couldn't move for a while. And this got worse throughout the years. Um, the worst one was probably the last time it happened. I had a match in Thailand, and um, I was winning, and I all of a sudden collapsed. I couldn't do anymore. I went to the hotel and slept for a week, and the promoter, credit to him, he ordered all the tests. He wanted to make sure I was okay, and nothing came back. Medically, I was fine, but spiritually, I was detached. There's reasons for that I won't get into right now, um, but it all comes down to me suppressing this aspect of myself and pretending that it didn't exist and distracting myself while trying to prove that I was tough as possible. And because I was good, um, near towards the end of some probably my most important matches, it was shut down. So for you, those of you who don't know, I'm a healer. Um, I do purification rites. They're very, very strong. You'll have to experience it. I do them on this channel, and basically you just lie down and relax, and you do receive an effect. There is an effect. Um, I know this seems like maybe a random video. It's like, what's this person talking about? That they're coming out and they're saying all this stuff about purification and healing. But that's what I do, and I do it here. And if you look through this channel, you'll be able to see some of that work pretty in depth. I just passed 1,000 uploads here on YouTube, and the majority of those are live streams. And they're free. Everyone is welcome to come in at any time. So, in case you haven't, figured it out yet, I am trans. I am transitioning. I have been on hormone replacement therapy for almost 2 months now. Not quite two, maybe a month and a half. And um, the changes, they're definitely there. And like I said, I don't want to be one of these people that um, come across that they're ashamed or embarrassed of being transgender. Um, so that is basically what prompted me to release this video now. Probably more than or before I was ready to. Um, but here I am. This is me coming out. I've told a few people from close friends, but I haven't really published a video that can obtain some reach and go to all my other social medias to really notify everyone else, if you want to call it notify. So, yeah, there you have it. Nothing's going to stop me. Um, I did want to say, too, that with that disconnect from these matches, because my soul is of a specific gender, a specific type, it um, doesn't connect to my body and the life I've been living as well as it should, if that makes sense. Hence that disconnection I talked about. Um, and this is a little different too because I've never like hated myself. I've been disappointed many, many times, but I've never looked in the mirror and not really liked what I see. Not liked what I see because I've always tried to do stuff with as much as honest and with as much integrity as possible. Must be those hormones. But no, really, this isn't easy. But that mechanic, the apparatus that connects me to myself,
it wouldn't be maintainable for much longer. So I've had no choice but to do this. And um, although I'm crying and there is a little bit of mourning here, I do feel better because this is actually is natural for me. And if many of you have been coming noticed, I've noticed the healings have gotten much stronger, and I'm not fully integrated yet at all by any means. There hasn't been a real unite, real reuniting. It's still connected by a thread to myself. I can't even exercise right now without um, having to lay in bed for hours just because there's something about that that pulls me apart very quickly and puts me at a very type of unconscious state, waking unconsciousness, I should say. So, but I feel better because it's been so natural for me. And the HRT has um, started like this type of development at a very high paced rate. It's working very fast. Um, so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. It's gonna be a challenging year. I think I'm gonna be going back to school. I have one more year left, and I hope to apply to grad school or a couple of them, and hopefully get in. I will be leaving Japan in a month or so, and there are other things planned for my, I guess, transition. Um, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm all in, and that's just how it's gonna be. And it was very unexpected. It was very unexpected. Other people have this type of dysphoria, or they've described it. It was different with me. I still don't quite have it that in that way. However, I can, because I have extrasensory perception, I can see myself and what I look like when I'm in the luminal state between twilight, sleep, and rest, and eventually falling asleep. I could see myself. I could see my hair and all this other stuff. Um, Also, too, in um, some of the groups, people who have extrasensory hearing have heard a female voice while I recite the Nordito. I used to play it off and just say, "Oh, that's Amiterasu," or "That's another spirit that kind of joined the group," or but no, it was me at a very soul level. Um, but yeah, so yeah, that's it. Like I said, I will continue to be here pretty much every day doing the healings. I will keep doing these videos, and as I get stronger, I think everyone here will benefit from that very much. As many of you have said you have, I will continue this work diligently, despite any of the personal struggles I might be going through, which aren't as bad as they sound. I have accepted this. I am not tortured. I am not conflicted. I actually feel good about myself.
if anything, I was or have been kind of upset. I had a thing where I sort of burst out into tears about, you know, how I could have suppressed myself for so long. Because this has been such a relief, and just for my physical health. I told you some about some of my near death experiences because of this. And the message I got is basically I cannot be incognito anymore. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. I will continue with the feeds, like I said, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.